What's going on, everybody? Emmett Ferguson here, and we're going to be reviewing The Science of Getting Rich. And, basically, what I want to talk about in this video isn't just like the review of this book, whether it works or not. I mean, the thing is whenever someone says that something is a science, I think one of we can get confused in the misunderstanding of what science is. Science by definition, and just looked it up on Wikipedia here. Basing it off Wikipedia, science is basically a hypothesis, like a series, not a hypothesis, but like it is a series or a group of like testable ideas that can explain how certain things work, that you can use to predict and create. So, for example, right, chemistry, it's the science of like molecules, chemicals, things like that. With chemistry, you can create, if you put into action, you can create things like rubber, plastic, you can transform certain elements into elements that are more useful, like combining sodium and chloride to create salt, sodium chloride, or sodium and chlorine. So the point of this video is to dive in and talk about like science and applying science, because I've seen a lot of people write in the personal development space, not the authors themselves, but people like critics, skeptics, people that aren't really getting to where they want to go. And I always see the comment things like, well, I've got a lot of these books and I'm not rich or I'm not successful. And what I at least want to address is, when you look at a book like this, The Science of Getting Rich, I mean, this book is up there with the likes of Think and Grow Rich, Richest Man in Babylon. It's up there with We Are the Founders of Our Fortunes, and with books like Benjamin Franklin's books and all of those really successful, success books and everything. So the science of getting rich, when you think about science, right, this what I'd like to at least address or discuss is that this book, I think, does a great job of presenting the ideas of science, the ideas within the science of getting rich. Not just the theories, but like the foundations, the concepts, the actionable things where biology, or let's just narrow down biology to like botany, right? The study of plants, the science of plants, and like understanding how to breed plants. That's one thing. Understanding that that one plant gives an egg and another plant gives the sperm. I don't know exactly what it's called within plants, but they got seeds and you got to fertilize those seeds. So, or I think the seeds are actually come after the plants have done their duty. But anyway, the science of getting rich, right? The science of plants, you can understand it, but there's a complete other world where you're actually putting the science in action, where you put the science of getting rich in action, where you put the science of anything into action. And Wallace D. Wattles, he does an amazing job creating these actionable ideas. And as you can test them yourself, as you can test the concept, as you could test an experiment and put these ideas into action, you can predict a certain outcome. And it's just like, it is so simple that some people just feel as if there might be some bigger significant like force or something. But just think about this. It sounds so simple, but something like taking action. He talks about that in his book. A lot of books talk about that, and that's where people, that's the application of it. That's taking the science and putting it into action, and not just doing it once or twice, but doing it more than once. And for those of you that are actually taking action, you're probably not spending too much time over analyzing every self-help book and seeing if it's actually going to get you rich, right? You're probably already taking action. You're probably maybe you built some websites, wrote some articles. You are probably hustling. But we got to recognize that like there are a lot of people who are probably reading the book who are saying, well, action's not going to work right now because any action I take isn't going to matter, right? So there's literally people who are reading the science, and let's even dig deeper into science. For every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. Now, but here's the thing is when you're working by yourself, right? If you're sitting in your home and then you make a video and you think that that's an action, and you're saying to yourself, well, that literally produces no result because all I have is this video. But now you have that extra skill of making that video, and where some people might think like, or at least I've thought like this in the past. I don't know about anybody else, but if you're getting to the nitty gritty, if you say, oh, I made a video, therefore I should be paid whatever this video is worth. But if you keep that video to yourself, the only action that has been taken is the creation of a video. So suddenly there is this video, and the opposite reaction is literally like just whatever energy was put in has been captured. It doesn't suddenly mean like, okay, video means money. So the science of getting rich, no matter what it is, there is a science to every action that you do. If you work for somebody and you give them more than what you were paid for, or what you originally paid for, you give them more action, more ideas, more value, they specifically may not respond by giving you a raise. But what you can do at least is to get that knowledge, that skill, that ability, and someone within that office is probably recognizing it. And there's some reaction there, whether they take that as a leadership lesson, they carry it forward, or maybe somewhere down the line you are looked at for a raise. I don't know. But despite all of these, what if this happens? What if that happens? Or, well, you can come up with a situation that hasn't existed yet and, explain why that might go wrong. But that's not the application of science. Thinking about everything that could go wrong isn't the application of science. It's literally just think about everything that could go wrong is literally just creating like the hypothesis. That's just the very first step. That's coming up with the idea and determining whether it's gonna be a workable solution or not. So, for example, if you assume or have a hypothesis that people who have social media are happier, right? You're going to do some research on that, and then you're going to apply it. Like, what can you do to apply it? You can share the research and tell people that social media makes people happier, right? And that's the application of it. It's not just thinking about it, just researching it, but literally applying it. So where this gives you the tools, books like this, and I'm not going to say that this has never been done before. There's definitely ideas in this book that have been, discussed. It's been, repackaged, which is absolutely fine. So many things are repackaged. Different types of toilet paper are packaged in, different ways and resold. There's toothpaste that have the almost same exact ingredients, except one costs $10 and the other one costs $2. There is makeup, lipstick, all sorts of products that are repackaged based on things that have been done already, right? So you can't rag on a man, Wallace D. Wattles, and I think this was pretty original thought back in his day, and it probably still is, but you can't rag on him because he came up with a new way to package some ideas. And the thing is there are a lot of people who love these ideas or who need those ideas and who have not heard them. So just in consideration, I mean, a book like this is absolutely amazing. When I was reading it, I was getting all of these ideas. What I love about it is that it's actionable, it's testable. You get these great measurable ideas that you can take action on right away, that you can put into practice, and then start seeing or checking for the results. And no science happens overnight. Now, you've got chemical reactions that can happen instantly, but the skills and the knowledge and the tests that came up to develop that was years and years of development. And there are some people that can put these ideas into action much faster, much more effectively. There's scientists. We're just gonna call them scientists, or people that want to get rich. Scientists are people that want to get rich. We're gonna make an analogy here that there are scientists who are more efficient at their work because they have more knowledge, they have more resources, they've already got a lab. There are scientists who already have expertise in an area like botany, the study of plants, and they can go directly to an agriculture company, a company that raises food and everything, and go to them and apply the idea. There are people who want to get rich who already have websites, who already have networks and relationships, who already have a resume, who have already succeeded in the past, and they can start to apply these types of ideas and start to notice results faster. And it goes beyond just, and this book talks about it pretty well, is The Science of Getting Rich talks about it pretty well, is it goes beyond just taking action. You have to take the right action. You have to have your ideas focused in the right areas. So let's just go through some of these ideas real quick. You got right to be rich. Is there a science to go? There is a science to go at getting rich, is what it says. And I think I was able to address at least some part of that right now, but Wallace D. Wattles explains it in such a great way. It's opportunity monopolized, increasing life, how riches come to you, gratitude, how to use the will, further use of the will, how to act, efficient action, cautions, advancing man. So, and just based on this book alone, constantly adding value to a conversation. And there will be some reaction at some point. There will be some, force that comes along that reacts equivalently, as long as the right amount of value is added, as long as someone is being helped, as long as someone wants or needs what it is that you can offer. And if you've got absolutely nothing to offer, then you more so have to read this book to find out, because it can help you come up with that idea, help you get into that zone where you're comfortable starting to test what it takes to get rich. And I think back in the day, Wallace D. Wattles. I mean, you think about books today. I Will Teach You to Be Rich, by I forget his name. But anyway, I Will Teach You, Ramit Sethi. So I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. I mean, that's just a rehash of this title, The Science of Getting Rich. And ultimately the ideas of, making money, keeping money, making more money. How do you increase your amount of action? How do you connect with the right people? I mean, those ideas, I think this is one of the original books that gets into that. And it does it in a way where if you believe that it does require work to make things happen, that there are possibly some secrets or some actions that some people take that others are not taking, that makes certain people more successful than others, more wealthy than others, more have better relationships than others, then this book is going to help you get those exact steps that you need to take your life to the next level, both like physically, financially, emotionally, for you to get those ideas and literally start to put them into action, so that it might take 1 year, it might take 2 years, it might take 5 years, but if you put things like this, like books like this, into consistent action, you're bound to see results. And again, this isn't about collecting books and just reading them and then letting them sit on a shelf, but literally finding what brilliant idea that you can take from there and to apply either today, tomorrow, in the next hour, or over the next year, or maybe something that you can't apply right away, but you're going to be able to start doing really quickly. So, The Science of Getting Rich. there's a lot of books out there that are not that fail to provide the exact predictable concepts. How can you predict your own success? By putting into action the things that are conducive to success, by experimenting, by testing. And this book frames it and positions the ideas of getting rich into a way that I believe anyone could put in action. You don't have to have a PhD or even a bachelor's or even an associate's to understand the science that's presented here. I mean, it is very, very succinct, and it helps you get to where you want to go and understand the concepts in depth so that you can start at least pursuing your dreams. So with that, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Check out The Science of Getting Rich, written by Wallace D. Wattles. You'll find it on just probably I would say at least 80% of the reading lists of books like these: personal development, self-help, financial success, all of those, motivational coaching, all that. You're bound to find it on some reading list. And he is right up there with the richest man in Babylon, George S. Clayson, richest man in Babylon, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. We're the builders of our fortune, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Benjamin Franklin, The Way to Wealth, all those books. So with that, hey, have a great day. Thank you for watching, and be sure to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and share any feedback.